What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy C again, coming at you with another episode of C's Retro Garage. As usual, coming to you from outer space in FEMA Region 4 of the 1/3 restricted zone. I never like to bring this up, but might as well. Any of you guys in FEMA Region 4, if you're still in a 1/3, 2/3 restricted zone, remember that next time, huh? Who's the overseers? Make sure you try the best you can. Legitimately to fire their asses. Hence, we still wear the mask. So, anyway, back to another topic. This ever happened to you? You're doing laundry, and lo and behold, your dryer's not working. Now, there's one thing when you open the door, like so, and you got light. So you know you got power. It's another thing when you push the button and it works. So you know you don't have a blown fuse. But you got wet, damp, sticky, nasty clothes. It doesn't mean it's new dryer time. It means it's heating element time. And we're going to show you how to replace it on one of these Whirlpool machines. Check it out. So this here is a Whirlpool model WED4800XQ1. This is the standard Whirlpool. I've gone ahead and I unplugged it. Guys, this ever happened to you? It's that, this one's unplugged, but this ever happened to you? You turn the dryer on, put it for a cycle, and guess what? Doesn't work. What's going on? Clothes are still wet, damp, nasty, stinky. Well, it's not new dryer time necessarily. Could be new heating element time, which is that spot right back here. Could be your heating element is shot. Okay? And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to replace the heating element. A little thing with this one. This is also another reason why your dryer can burn out. Guys, you got to check this often enough. This is just from pulling the filter here. Look at that. I'm not the one that uses the dryer, guys. You can figure out whose fault that one is. But anyway, for those of you who will be curious and will look, this is a little bit of a, you can call this homemade fuse holder. Anybody familiar with these dryers knows that they suck and they blow these fuses all the time. You get pretty damn good at opening these machines often to change these stupid fuses. There's a reason they sell these in packs of like 4, 8, 12, etc. So I got tired of doing it, so I kind of created my own fuse holder. This was just kind of makeshift. I got to make it a point to do a nicer one, a prettier one, something a little bit more contained. I don't have to worry about it too much yet because my kid is not able to climb this machine yet. So, but we'll go ahead and we'll get started and pull this guy out of the closet here and let's have a look. Okay, so now you're at the back of your dryer. As you can see, don't be intimidated. It could look a little scary, but it's not. If you were wondering what that is my own version of a fuse holder that I created. Anybody who's aware or has anything as far as knowledge of these machines know that these tend to blow this fuse often enough that you get really good at changing it, but you get really sick and tired of moving the machine. So the only thing you really need is a nut driver, or if you have the right bit, I think that's 1/4 inch. Pull the panel off. Only takes a few seconds with a cordless drill, and then we'll get into the guts. Okay, so now you're looking at the back of the machine, and your heater core, the heating element, hides right here. This little guy here, which honestly, it's up to you. It's good practice to change it every time you have to change this guy out. Not really necessary, but you will find out the hard way if you put everything back together and your dryer is still not heating up. For those who were curious, this was the fuse holder here. It actually usually sits right here. This fuse, quite often you gotta change it. So this is where your heating element resides. Not the biggest, hardest looking thing. Here's your two connections here that you usually change out. Usually they come in a kit. Just right here. You get these guys on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. My personal opinion of these Whirlpool dryers is they suck. I have learned more about dryers from this machine than any other machine. I had cheap ass dryers before in my old house. I had a wonderful shit, I don't even remember the name. It was the cheapest dryer you could buy at Home Depot. And that thing never died. 15 years, never died. So we look in the box. Here's the new heating element. These guys were nice enough to send us a new fuse. So put this in the pile of fuses. Here's the new thermostats here, if you need to change them. As you can see what it looks like. This one I had to rewire. From the factory, this looks a little bit different. So you can see from the... I'm trying to see if you could see. There you go. That's the model for it. If that's the only thing that ever goes wrong with it, consider yourself lucky. So, not a whole lot to it. Go ahead and start taking it apart. Always remember, please unplug this thing. This sucker's 220. This will flat out kill you. Worst case, best case, you'll get a shock so bad that you probably will be thankful that the wall behind you is going to hold you in place. That's assuming you don't break any bones when you get tossed back. So excuse my tight quarters here. This is in an upstairs utility closet. It's not much to it, just a couple screws. You don't even have to remove this guy. I think it was just kind of a habit for me, so I did it. Okay, so now get to compare the two. This one actually doesn't look too bad. So our issue may not be there, but we're going to replace it. But this is so you get an idea of what it looks like. This is it once you pull it out, used. This one actually doesn't look too bad. Usually these are pretty crispy. That one is pristine and beautiful. So our problem could actually be this little booger. So we can do one of two things. We can go step by step, see if that solves the problem, or we can just go ahead and replace the whole thing. Now we know the fuse is good because without the fuse, the machine will turn on as far as the lights, meaning there is power, but it won't cycle. Very simple. Turn it on, it won't spin. So this is what the new parts look like. You can tell they're pretty specific. One goes up top. This is the top one. And this one is the bottom one. I also always noticed there's another way that you can kind of tell which ones go what. If you can remember, the white one goes above and the black one goes below. So pretty much, this is what your change looks like. Basically, plug and play almost. Now, it does come with some new wiring if you want to use the new wiring. This here is probably just from heat. This is just the tape here. It's possible this burnt out. I'm not smelling anything. Wires can burn out. That's happens. But whichever path you choose, you can now rest assured that if you're gonna change some wiring, you know, this is the time to do it. Why not? You know, you gotta clean one here, so you might as well. Look at that, pretty, huh? So go ahead and change these out and give it a go. My recommendation would be just go ahead and replace the whole thing. You got the kit. You can always test the old ones afterwards. Test them for continuity. See if they're still good. If they're fried. This one does not appear to be fried. That's heat. Obviously, does that. Makes it more crispier. This doesn't look unusual. They yellow and they do get a little hot with age. Normal. But we'll go ahead and just replace them. It's just good practice. And again, you can always test these, keep them as spare parts. If I mean the old ones, excuse me. If you ever find yourself in a pinch, so we'll go ahead and swap them out. All right, so now we got the new thermostats in. The new heating element is in, and that's pretty much it. At this point, the only thing you should do is you want to feel here for any schmutz. Look down the pipe here and see if you got any schmutz. If you do, clean it out. This is very important. Just cleaning this sucker out here. I mean, you can see how much dust the dryer can leave. But go ahead and clean your pipe out. Very important. Clean your filter. If you can, you get your shop vac. Suck all this crap out of here. Keep it nice and clean. That should do it. On the top one here, you'll notice it does have 2 holes, but there's only 1 hole for a screw. It has a little schmeckle here, which you just pop through the little schmeckle into the little hole there, in absence of a screw, which it's just the 1 screw is all you need. And that should pretty much do it. You careful which direction you put this guy in. You don't want these positive leads to be touching here. It's possible that's what happened to the heating element before. It was touching the metal and shorted. Possible, but I can't confirm. This part that's touching here, it is not touching. I can feel with my fingernail here. But this is the plastic side, shouldn't touch this at all. And that should be all there is to it. Out with the old, in with the new. This heating element is over a year old. Not too bad. It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't mean it's any good. Could be shot. I've seen them in a lot worse condition than this one. This one actually doesn't look too bad. I can go ahead and test this one later. Maybe this one is actually okay. But that's about all she wrote. Go ahead, put the back on, and then connect your hose, put it back in place, and give it a go. Okay, so you can see the lights on. This is plugged back in. And that's going to be your heating element. Now, it's not going to be real possible, just because obviously I can kind of cheat here by holding a little lever, but you should see that heater element get bright red if it is working, okay? So what I'm going to do, just for a second here, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to push this on. You can hear it's on. And you see the element, the camera should start catching it. See how what the eye doesn't really see. Oh, there it is. You see how it's getting cherry red? So right there it tells you now you got a working heating element. That is what you want. This is beautiful, guys. And just in case you're wondering what I'm doing, there's a little safety switch here, which is the automatic off switch if you were to open it. But as you can see, it is working. We are a go. And it will stink. Don't get me wrong. It will stink. But it's good to go, guys. That is a wrap. We have our dryer back, and you can put the wife back to doing her damn job of doing the laundry. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. So, as always, this is your boy C with C's Retro Garage. Always branching out to other things, and hopefully saved you a few $100 in buying a new dryer. There's no need for it. Dryers are very simple creatures. It usually breaks down to fuses, thermostats, heater elements, and belts. In this case, we got off easy. So for 15 minutes of your time and about $1 a minute, which is what the parts cost from Amazon actually, and they'll get them to you in a day or two, you can be back in business, and no longer do you have to go to the laundromat or, bum your mom's or your in-laws' dryer and all that fun stuff. So, thank you for stopping in once again as usual. Thank you for checking out another episode of C's Retro Garage. And as always, stay safe, be ye kind one to another, and peace out.